Good morning, guys. A good morning to all of those who tuned into the realest thing coming out of Guyana. So, the opposition leader had a press conference yesterday. It seemingly went unnoticed. I think I could elevate it to status that people could, across the country and across the world, could hear. As I said, it seemingly went unnoticed. And let me see. Yes, so on the PNCR's page, it seemingly went unnoticed, and this is a matter of fact. On the PNCR's page, this is the bloodline of what the PNC is about. This is the PNCR page. On the PNCR's page, 400 and look down at the bottom there, 465 people looked at it, right? So 400 people looked at it. I just got more than 400 people looking at me in live time. Since yesterday, on the PNCR's page, 400 people paid attention to what the opposition leader says, and I think more people need to pay attention to what the opposition leader needs to say.
Today's statement will be read by the leader of the opposition.
So the leader of the opposition reads a press statement, right? They have to sit down, they think about it, they write it, they put into writing what is in their minds and the thing, right? So we go up on the road, and two things we're going to look at the progress out there, we're going to listen to what the opposition leader is saying.
Morning, members of the press. PPP misusing the Guyana police force against its opponents. The opposition wishes to condemn the use of the Guyana police force to achieve political objectives, while at the same time ensuring the PPP senior officials who are accused of serious crimes are not investigated, or the police carries out the investigation in a way that allows for the PPP accused senior official to go free and not face the law. The political harassment of Member of Parliament, Mr. David Patterson.
Bear in mind, the Darmlal was arrested. An investigation was initiated. The victim came out herself and said what she said. That was public. Patterson is caught on video with the loli outside, and the opposition leader, the first thing the opposition leader chooses to do is represent that. Now it's not anything unnatural for the PNC. Everything as it relates to illegality, the PNC has been known to come out and represent illegality, stand up for the freedom fighters, the Blackie London who had murdered and robbed and raped people. They came out to his funeral. PNC leaders came out to his funeral, and they're known for this, right? So you gotta listen carefully to the opposition leader.
Is one of the most recent manifestations of the PPP's harassment of the opposition. But as Patterson has been accused of violating the law, what is interesting is for this minor offense, he's placed on $200,000 station bail, which is clearly an act of political harassment. In the case of the allegations of bribery and corruption leveled against Barra Jagdeo in the Vice News report, the PPP instructed the police not to investigate. Mr. Jagdeo's
what evidence? There's one of the problems. There's one of the problems with this country. What evidence is there? How can the PPP instruct the police not to investigate? How can the police investigate based on a Vice News story? It is clear as day what the intention was. The Chinese and the Americans are fighting for new grounds. Vice News, an American funded organization that's known to cook up stories, that go and research Vice News. For all we know, Vice News could be a CIA front. I just explaining. I just put in me 2 cents as we go down. But yeah, I playing with the opposition leader saying, right?
the allegations leveled against Mr. Patterson. Yet the police are
now,
unable
when you
to
listen to
investigate an alleged crime.
when you listen to the opposition leader, nothing for the people, you know. Vice News gone out of business, they run bankrupt. Yeah. There was a fraud, they themselves was a fraud. So listen to the opposition leader, nothing but the people, nothing what they could do but the people is jagged you.
Has implications for the nation as a whole. In the case of the alleged rape and sodomizing of an indigenous, was very complacent and clearly worked assiduously
there? How
to
the thing jump
ensure
there?
that Mr.
That's not
Nigel
me
Darren
first.
Lal did not face
Oh.
the full force of the law. For the opposition, this is not a closed case. It's a case of money and other forms of power being used to intimidate ordinary citizens and to allow the members of the PPP elite class
How intimidate?
to
The
violate
girl come out and talk in a video and then the opposition come and attack she. Did victim shame. What intimidate? The girl very confidently came out and spoke. What intimidation?
and go unpunished. It must be stated here that rape has no statute bar, and therefore those who believe in justice will continue to pursue this case until there is justice. Madia Dormitory fire.
So what the opposition leader is saying, we shouldn't worry with Patterson thing because the Nigel Darren Lal thing. Fully represented. It's okay. You understand? It's okay. Patterson but the video shaking lowly. No, that's okay. That's okay. Alright.
For an independent commission of inquiry. It is now 66 days since the tragic Madia Dormitory fire that took the lives of 20 young Guyanese on the
Yes, it is opposition leader Norton. It's this press conference I'm playing back here for you guys. For those of you just tuning in, over going there.
And heartless ploys to avoid taking full responsibility and to brush the matter under the carpet. Most recently, Guyanese across the social and political spectrum joined in condemning the insulting act by the government to offer the parents the stingy financial compensation and to coerce or intimidate them into signing documents absolving the government from any future potential claims for liability and injury. Guyanese must continue to reject these acts by the PPP. Its judicial system, Guyanese are awarded $20 million or more for libel and defamation.
Like Glenn Lally talking about.
It's ridiculous for the government to offer $5 million per person for the loss of life. Life cannot be that cheap in a country where the government squanders billions of taxpayers' money. To date, the government has failed to constitute the long-awaited Commission of Inquiry into the fire.
Bear in mind, Norton is one of the people responsible for libel in this country. Because when he said the government squanders billions of taxpayers' money, can he say on what? Is Norton suggesting that to give the cash grant to the school kids is squandering? Can Norton suggest that all the development that is going on across the country is squandering? The part-time jobs that were created that is giving billions of dollars back to Lindenans, and so is that squandering? Norton is one of the persons. When he talking about his own self. Because when they say the government squandering on what?
There can be no excuse.
Is there any? Let me put down this hotspot, because GT&T is shit. So I got nothing upon the GT&T and the life on the digital. So there's two phones are operating. Oh, it's like the press conference went off.
Rape has no statute bar, and therefore those who believe in justice will continue to pursue this case until there is justice. He reported that none of the money has been spent, at least usefully,
Hear this
for
man.
children. Government must announce salary increases and cost of living relief, for 2023. True to its anti-working class and anti-poor nature, the incompetent and corrupt PPP government has displayed its usual heartlessness in refusing to grant any salary and wage increases to teachers, the police, the Guyana Defense Force, and public servants. In addition, they have offered no cost of living relief to ordinary Guyanese in 2023. Last week in the National Assembly, Minister with responsibility for finance in the office of the President, Ashni Singh, when asked about the $5 billion voted in the 2023 national budget to help Guyanese survive the high cost of living, he gave an answer that may not have even convinced he himself. In a nutshell, he reported that none of the money has been spent, at least usefully. Likewise, we are not surprised by the government's bad faith in the ongoing salary negotiations with the GTU. We see no interest being shown by the government to activate the collective bargaining agreement with the public service unions. If last year's salary increases are any guide, then the government will likely impose an increase that is below the inflation rate and not retroactive. It will then continue on its merry way, doling out large contracts to its cronies for infrastructure projects. Clearly, the 2023 budget was not intended to help the poor. It is a mechanism to put wealth in the hands of the PPP elites.
Now you're hearing this from an opposition leader who was part of a government that took $10,000. You just do a comparative analysis. So when the PNC, when they were in government, they took away $10,000. The PPP used to give $10,000. They took away $10,000 from school sharing, the cash grant. 10,000 Guyana dollar. Today, this is for 5 years. The students, the cash grant, didn't see 10,000 cents. They took away the $10,000, the only $10,000 again. After 3 years, just about 3 years, the PPP not only gave back the $10,000, but it is now up to $40,000 and will be going to $50,000 by 2025. This is the same opposition leader that you hear uttering these words here. Right? That's where you got these.
Friends and favorites, while allowing the people to punish. The government shows no care.
This is the same opposition leader that was part of a government that when they take away the cash grant, their meal budget in government went up by $1.8 billion. You understand? Their meal budget went up. While they took the bread, the little pittances, what the cash grant was giving to the students, right? The meal budget went up, right? So there's the same man talking. Forget all these things, what they did people.
Nurses continue to leave the country for more respect and more pay in the UK and elsewhere. It is the people of Guyana who are harmed by the decline of a...
Well, I can't disagree with he. The Ministry of Health, you understand, is found wanting. The Minister of Health is found wanting. I can't disagree there, because only yesterday I've been to Sapphire, where gunmen went in the health center there, shoot the security guard. I don't know if the intention was to get the security guard gun, but this is the 5th time gunmen went in there and been robbing the nurses them and so. Right? Somebody needs to look into that.
Health services. If the people of Ghana, it is the people of Ghana who are harmed by the decline in our health services. When teachers pack up and fly out, our schools and school children pay the price. When our qualified university graduates migrate in droves, the people pay the price. When the public service is no longer seen by young people as providing career opportunities and pathways to decent living standards, This is
how you know what PNC ideology is. Young people should think that the public service is the way out. When young people no longer see the public service for create jobs for them, there's a PNC ideology. But they want them in the public service and they want them in the private sector at the same time. They want to get the contracts at the same time. That is what the PNC is about. The PNC wanted to have police and soldier and nurse. So that's what the PNC is about. The PNC is a public service party. So I don't know where to fight. You can't fight from both fronts. You got to fight from one front. This is what the opposition leader is saying, and this is what he's been indoctrinated in and with as a PNC. As a PNC, coming up as a boy, that's what he was indoctrinated with. Public service. You understand? Don't think outside the box. But now, when they see the contractors making money, they're calculating, oh, we ain't getting contracts. It's not me, say, listen to Aubrey now. Listen to Aubrey now. Listen to Aubrey now.
If the people of Ghana, it is the people of Ghana who are harmed by the decline in our health services.
Listen to what he's saying.
When teachers pack up and fly out, our schools and school children pay the price. When our qualified university graduates migrate in droves, the people pay the price. When the public service is no longer seen by young people as providing career opportunities and pathways to decent living standards, it is the country that suffers.
So it's only the public service could get it.
Get this and never will.
You understand? It's an ideology. There's a public servants party.
As we have indicated,
and public servants could only be wealthy if they're corrupt.
On the question of wages and salaries,
public service ain't got no big money. You get a good wage and a decent living.
As we have said before, our principles and commitments are as follows. 1. There should be no working poor in Guyana. We now have the financial means to lift all Guyanese well over the poverty line. We recommit ourselves to the 1 million per household annually in a structured, open, transparent way and based on objective criteria.
That is a madman. 1 million per household. But all them fuckers are going to super bet. Morning, Tabu. Good morning to you.
This is based on our vision for Guyana.
Oh, Jesus Christ, not your vision for Guyana.
Is required to deliver top quality health, education, and other services. To manage a comprehensive social protection system. To provide efficient services to the private sector and to ensure that affairs of the people can be efficiently and effectively administered. 3. We will respect the public sector unions as the legitimate representatives of public servants. This is an error that must be rectified, and we are committed to doing so. Under a future coalition government, public servants will be guaranteed a livable income through several measures such as...
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what's the problem with coalition government and why I don't work in these areas. So in Suriname, the coalition is, the coalition is by race. So you got the Javanese party, you got the black party, you got the Indian party, and all them come together and they can't get it right. Because they gotta get consensus on everything, they fighting for power. You understand? Everything they're fighting for. Now I just want just for opposition leader to know, I'm giving you the ear, and on this platform right now, today is a slow morning. Is maybe a vice is the cause for people not tuning in, but they have 400 at this time, 430 people listening to what you're saying. And on the PNC page, if you go on the PNC page, you don't have a 400. You had only 431 people that listen. I got 437 or 440 that listen to what you're saying in lifetime. And on the PNC page since yesterday, 400 people ain't look at it, right? Yeah. So let me continue with the opposition leader press conference.
Increasing the minimum wage, raising the tax threshold, abolishing income tax for workers at the bottom of the scale.
By the way, Bernard. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Critic. How are you doing?
All right, talk to me.
Yeah, listen, with the old public service thing in Guyana, I wonder why it's only Guyana, because look at other countries, look at the Cayman Islands where I live. Do you know what a teacher collect a month over here? Between 4,000 to 5,000 CI, which is higher than US. Let me say 4,000 CI is like what, 5,000 US monthly. You understand what I mean? So Guyana needs to get better when it comes to the teachers and the nurses and these things. They really need to do better, like seriously. And I think they could.
And what is the educational system like there?
The educational system over here, pretty good, to be honest. It's just been migrated from all over the world, coming to the Cayman Islands to teach. You understand?
Well, I suppose they have to look at it.
Because a teacher don't be able to collect like between when tax come out, and keep in mind Cayman is tax free. So 5,000, that's what they carry, no tax out of that. You understand? Compared to teaching Guyana, we're collecting one something and these kind of 130 and 140.
No man, some teachers starting from $75,000, something like that.
Yeah, but teachers right now are talking about training from UG to all of the whatever carry over 130 and 130,000 a month.
So, do they get, in the Cayman Islands, do they give you the house lots and so on?
If they give you house lot?
Yeah.
No, you gotta purchase your house lot.
How much for a house lot in the Cayman Islands?
How much for a house lot? Well, it depends on location.
Give me an average in US dollars, Okay, average in US dollars starting like from 50 to 60,000 US dollars. That's $10 million. So here you could get, there's a house lot or the house and land?
No, this is house lot.
Well, so the cost of living in Cayman Islands is higher.
Yeah, it's higher.
Well, you gotta do a comparative analysis based on that also. I'm glad that they're getting more money, but obviously things are not cheaper down there.
But right now, to be honest, Guyana, comparing cost to living, well, I would say you can compare to the Cayman Islands, because the Cayman Islands is one of the second most expensive place in the world to live in.
Well, imagine that. So you ain't tell me that from first. You're telling me about a couple thousand what I'm making, but if it's gonna be the second most expensive place to live in the world, what is the money worth? Are there people, teachers that making that money? Let me say they come from here and go there and work, right?
Yeah.
And they're making the money. Do they come back here with a fortune like they win the lotto? Because by the time you spend for rent and all them things today, right? Like, I know teachers driving, going to work and making a fairly good living, going for vacation and everything with what they're getting in. I know teachers, I know some teachers taking blows, but it depends on your lifestyle. Because, for instance, the fuel in this country has no tax on it. So it is only what is as a result is what the fuel price on the world market. All taxes are zero taxes on fuel. You understand? And if you check all over the for instance, a tank of gas is tank of gas 11,000 Guyana dollars, right? And that is about 50 something US dollars. When I go to when I went to Barbados, it's $100. $100 for a tank of gas. 2 times the price. You understand? So imagine the comparison. The fuel is everything.
Yeah, I understand. But
Right?
listen this, you know, right? Listen this, you know. Compared to in Guyana, compared to in the Cayman Islands, right? Let me say, okay, I know I live over here from since 2008, so I know it's expensive. But I think you could save over here half the salary with just 500,000 Guyana dollar every month. And the other half would towards bills. 2 months or so.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, Guyana.
No, better has to be done. Better has to be done. I want better for everybody. You understand? And I would want to think.
Look at the passport office. The passport office forever full. It's forever full. And that's supposed to be happening, bro.
Well, if you go in and get your part, not the around people traveling more, I can tell you, we don't have a mass exodus. So passport office full. Like, for instance, with a Guyanese passport, now you could go to the UK visa free. A lot of people have been traveling more. I just come back from Suriname. I traveling every month. I just travel. You understand?
Yeah. But
so passport office full doesn't.
How much people in the Guyana could afford to go to the UK?
No people buy. No people buy. No people. Yes, no people. Anyone of me workers. Listen to me. Not for me workers. That's the problem. You see, you do over there. And I talked about it yesterday, where the people who have all the problems, if you look at the people who got the problems, are crying, their problem is the problem what the PNC tell them. You understand? No, me workers. But this man, let me the thing. Hey, Sing, it's Venezuela you come back recently, right? Venezuela living. Roger. You going back to Venezuela. This banner over the here. Right? We got a set of Venezuelan. Watch. What you seeing here is development right. I just hire new crane operator. Every day we hiring staff, right? And I'm saying, I like me crane operator. With the money he getting, he could live a comfortable life. I got people working for $2 million. I got people working for $1.5 million. I got at least about 10 people working for $500,000 a month. Monthly. Me engineers and work for $1 million up. You understand? We have people working for door. This is what I show you here right now. On this work site that I'm on here. Right? This thing here didn't exist. Watch. All this equipment. You're watching it live?
No, I don't.
Well, the equipment that is showing, when you go and listen back the live, the equipment that is showing in front of your face, going for a quarry in Bartica that didn't exist before. You understand? That means stone gonna come. Truck drivers, you get more money. You see in development the bridge. I'm going to show the harbor bridge now. This is the doing of the harbor bridge. So the Chinese man them. The Chinese bring, this is a fleet of trucks and cranes and all kind of thing. Right? This is to build the bridge. Just what you're seeing in front of your face here, in front of me. All of these things they bring. They gotta get drivers for this. A truck driver, a heavy duty vehicle driver and operator now getting between $10,000 and $15,000 a day. You understand? Me laborers that's get a man who know not to start having $5,000 a day. All of this is for the harbor bridge. Now, we looking at this.
Well, let me just compare that with you, right? There is a man over here, right? I got a small tiling company over here, so I do tiling, right? So there is a man I know nothing, like just mixing things up for me.
Yeah.
He can't get paid not less than $100 a day. Does
no, but you're talking about the most expensive society. You're talking about that's the problem. Now here, and next thing, when you're coming over, you're paying for come over this bridge, right? This is a whole up to be society. This bridge we're going to build now. 3 days the harbor bridge they close off, right? This is things for the bridge. So 3 days the harbor bridge close off. The Demerara Harbor Bridge. The government invest in a new bridge that get ease up the traffic, that make an international port over the upside, jobs, hotel and all that.
And provided training.
This one guy talking. Yeah, shut your fucking mouth. Why is a cross? Yeah. Right? Government. And that's what they gotta do. What governments all the world just do. They put in infrastructure. How do you think that is gonna affect the people that accessing this infrastructure? You understand what I'm telling you? Oh shit, the man cut off. I didn't realize. This is the foundation for the bridge. All we seeing is barge, material for bridge, jobs being created. Right? It might, but you can't compare, we can't compare Cayman Islands to Guyana. Just like how you can't compare Guyana to Venezuela. No, the Venezuelans, they don't here working for we bad, no? The Venezuelans rushing here for come, they got better in Guyana than Venezuela. This is a hive of activity here. The Chinese bringing a set of crane. Yeah, it's a set of equipment. The world passing out here. What you going on here, buddy? What you going on here? This real thing. Big pipe. The material for the bridge is here. Thing going on. I got thing going on. Yes, I know enough money for EC, but the cost of living up there is very expensive. When I go to India, $750 US is 1,500 Guyana dollars a day the driver works for. In India, the fastest growing economy in the world. You can't compare the Cayman Islands to Guyana, what Guyanese working for. There can be no comparative analysis. Look, Suriname been working for good money. The money adding up to nothing. The economy gone to shit. You understand? All of this is preparation for the bridge. All of this we've seen is development happening before you. People who didn't have jobs, right now we can straight in who ain't had job, forget a job. Right? That's where we concentrate upon. I come down here because I got early morning meetings. Since I come from Suriname, I ain't got there with long. I clear my head and we operated up on a bicycle. I don't know where he going. Guys, yeah, I'll take care. I gotta go on. We have people working for money, and if you use your money wise, I didn't work here. I could tell you, years ago I didn't work here for $10,000 a day. Yes, I never worked for $10,000 a day. I worked for $2,500 a day was a labor salary when I was a laborer. $2,500 a day was the labor salary. You understand? You can listen to Narton another day, man. At least I give you a little ear, because you want people in listening to you on your own page. So you gotta get the people to listen to you now. Yes, sir. You imagine you own people in listening to you? Jesus Christ. Not no relevance to say. Here, guys, I gotta go. You guys take care. Peace out.